Okay, it's been a couple of weeks and it's time to finish up our simple segmented bowl. A couple of weeks ago, it was about 70 degrees out, the garage door were open, and neighborhood kids were playing basketball. Today it's about 32 outside and 55 or so in the garage. I think I prefer the weather from a couple of weeks ago, but we take what we get. Anyway, this morning I've gone ahead and sanded this bowl up from, I started at 80 grit and sanded up to 400. I've also, it's been separated from the waste block. Actually, it separated itself from the waste block when I was turning this last part down here a couple of weeks ago. It decided to come off the waste block, so didn't hurt anything, but we got it centered back up and put back on the chuck. I sanded the inside as well. You can see the plugs at the bottom there, and got it all cleaned up and ready to go. We're going to put on this we're going to start with this product called Triple E Ultra Shine. It's a Australian product, which is really a finishing compound and a wax. It calls itself on there a cut and polish wax for wood turners. So I've used it before. It works pretty good. For a final top coat, we're going to put on a product called Shallow Wax, which the original container failed on me, so I put it into this mason jar or ball jar. It's basically a shellac base wax. We got it all ready to go, and next thing we're going to do is start putting some Triple E on this product. Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with the inside of this bowl and put on our Triple E. One of the things I have done is replaced all the lights in my garage with daylight fluorescents, including the one on my task light, which hopefully makes it a little bit easier to see. That halogen light I had in there throws a lot of light, but it's also very harsh, so hopefully this will work out a little bit better. We just take the Triple E on a paper towel, and our goal is just to rub it around on the inside of the bowl, get a nice coating on there. So we'll put that in there. I'll do the inside first, and then we'll move around to the outside. It will darken it up, the color up a little bit of the bowl as we start to put a little bit of a finish on it. Like I said, I sanded it through 600, so it was sanded, or I mean through 400. Sorry, it was pretty smooth to start with. So now we got that on there. We're going to turn the lathe on. Basically work that in and smooth that out and finish it up on the inside with the Triple E. We'll speed the lathe up, give us a little bit of speed here. Alright, we just start rubbing that in. Like I said, at the same time it polishes, it's going to put a coat of wax on the inside there. So we'll get a new paper towel. So we always use paper towels on the lathe, never use a rag. If the rag gets caught, it would not be a good thing. Alright, we're still getting a little bit of the Triple E onto the paper towel, so we'll rub it a little bit more here, wax it up. Okay, hopefully you can see that. It's made it really, really smooth, and it's put a nice like coating of wax onto that inside of that bowl. So while we got the camera over on this side, we'll go ahead and finish the interior up with some shallow wax, and we'll show that. Alright, the process of putting on the shallow wax is pretty much the same thing. I'll get some out of my my jar here. We just rub a coat on, maybe a little bit too much. We'll rub a coat on our inside of our bowl. I said this is a shellac based product, so it dries fast. and gives a nice shine. So now that we got that on there, we'll move that jar out of the way, and we'll give the lathe some speed and see if we can polish this up. Might give it a little bit more speed. There we go. Get a clean paper towel and finish this up. All right, that gave it a nice shine. Oh boy, it's really smooth. Really looks nice. So that's all we need to do with that. That's one thing nice about that product. There's no dry time. It's not like putting on a lacquer or a varnish. You don't have to wait. It's fairly durable, and this bowl is probably not going to get a lot of use anyway. I may put it on my desk and I don't know, fill it up with M&Ms or something. But we'll get set up and we'll do the outside. Alright, we got everything turned around here. We're going to go ahead and put the triple E on the outside of the bowl. Again, it's the process of spreading it around, trying to get a fairly thin, even coat. I got a little too much in a couple of spots here, so we'll spread that around a little bit. And there's a little bit more. Alright, now we got that on there. We'll go ahead and turn the lathe on. You might have to excuse my reach. And we'll start to polish that out. Fresh paper towel. And we'll just kind of rub that in. We're still getting a little bit coming off on the rag, so on the paper towel, so we'll continue on with it. Alright, again, that's very nice and smooth, and you can feel a little bit of the wax finish on it. Move that out of the way, we'll get our shell of wax. Get some out of the jar here. And again, put a fairly light coat. As I said, this dries pretty quickly, so you don't have a lot of time to fuss with it once you get it on there. You need to be ready to go here. So we got that pretty much all rubbed on here. All right, let's turn it on. Take the towels again. The edge of the bowl and then splashed over to the inside. And there we go. Again, it makes for a almost glass smooth finish on the outside. It really comes out nice. So. Alright, that's how we finish the inside and the outside. Now what we need to do is, we got too much material down here on the bottom, and we got a tenon on there we need to take off. So what I'm going to do is change the jaws in my chuck, and we're going to reverse this bowl around. We're going to clean up this bottom, treat it up with some triple E and shell wax, and it'll be done. All right, we have our bowl mounted into a large set of jaws. I use a piece of old router pad underneath of it to kind of protect the finish from the metal jaws. These jaws are attached to my 4-jaw chuck. I got the tailstock in a center point at the bottom, kind of holding it on there for a little added security while we turn off this little tenon and shape the bottom of the bowl. I got the tailstock set where I want it, and we're going to use a bowl gouge to turn this tenon off. The bowl is, the inside, it goes down about 3 inches, so I don't have a lot of room at the bottom of this thing. I probably hollowed it out a little too much on the inside, so what we got to be careful we don't go all the way through. So I got the lathe set at the slowest speed because of the size of the jaws and whatnot, so we're going to turn it on and see if we can't start taking off some of this tenon and work our way up a little bit to the bottom, and then we'll try and clean that up a little bit. So here we go. I might give it just a little bit more speed and see how it goes. Alright, that seems pretty good. I'm not going to turn it up any more than that. We're going to just slowly start whittling away this tenon here. We got to be careful with it. We don't want to push too hard. We don't want to break the bottom of our bowl. We want to leave as much wood around the center point of the live center as we can for support, so we won't take it all the way off until the very last thing. Okay, well, you get the general idea on that anyway, so we're going to continue on with this and clean that bottom up, and then we'll come back when we got it almost ready to finish off. Okay, we've got this shaped up on the bottom. The idea was to kind of follow the curve of the bowl down. The foot's a little smaller than I would like it to be, but we went too deep. I went too deep into the bowl, and there's not a lot of material left on the bottom of the bowl here. So the idea is just to clean this last little part up, and then dish it out just a little bit so the bowl sits flat on the whatever surface we have it on. So let's turn this around here. See if we can't get that on there, and we'll see if we can't work on trimming that little piece off there. Let's see. The bowl's still in there nice. I moved the tailstock, but the bowl's still in there nice and tight, but just in case, we're going to stand out of the way here. Turn it up. Alright, this is really, would really be ashamed to mess this up at this particular point, so we just really want to just barely nibble this last little bit of foot off of here. If we push too hard, we can blow through the bottom as well, so that's a concern. It's where a light touch comes in handy. course, if I do blow through the bottom of this, no one will ever see because I'll just delete all the video and then there won't be any recorded record of it. So if you're watching this, you'll know that I didn't blow through the bottom of the bowl. There's going to be a lot of sand in here because I really are. All right, well that was pretty stressful. So we'll shut the camera off and we'll sand this thing up, and then we'll come back when we're ready to finish this all up again with some Triple E and some shallow wax, and then we'll finalize this project. Okay, let's finish up the bottom of our bowl here. I've went ahead and sanded the foot and sanded it all down, and it's got it nice and smooth. Sanded through 400 again. So we're going to go ahead and put some Triple E compound on this. We have to redo some of the bottom that we did. We had to sand up a little higher than we wanted to just to blend everything in. So we'll put this on the bowl here. And let's go ahead and fire up the lathe. Give us some speed and clean this up. Woo! The sawdust coming off from all of our sanding. We'll clean paper towel here. Give this a final buffing. I apologize for the lighting on this thing. I'm still fussing with this fluorescent bulb in my task light. And sometimes it seems a little bright. And probably too bright for some of the images for you to see it that well, so I apologize for that. I'll keep working with it one of these days. Maybe I'll actually get it right. So, all right, well, we got that part nice and cleaned up. That Triple E does a nice job. We'll go ahead and get the shallow wax. Put a little bit on the paper towel and rub that on there. All right, here we go. Sanding is certainly a necessary evil, but it also sometimes allows you to correct any mistakes and do it in a manner that's non-destructive, I would say. So it's a necessary evil, but it certainly is beneficial. So, all right, let's about some of that on there. A little bit more speed. Alright, we need a clean paper towel and we'll be good to go. Got that pretty good now. Let's wait for this to stop and check it out here. So that looks pretty good. We got it all cleaned up. Let's take it out of the jog and see how it looks here. Alright. That off of there. Alright. That looks pretty nice. So let's go ahead and stop for now, and we'll come back and wrap this project up. Well, here's our final product, our simple segmented bowl. Made out of maple. It's got 4 rings, a solid piece on the bottom. Each ring has 12 segments for a total of 49 pieces. Overall, it came out pretty well considering the many times as I tried to mess it up. If you remember correctly, when I was originally cut the segments, I didn't spend enough time adjusting my sled, and the rings didn't really fit together all that well, the half rings. I was able to salvage it with the plywood technique that I used to glue the half rings together. Then when I was building the bowl on the lathe, I think I glued ring number 3 to ring number 1, and so they didn't exactly go on in the way that order that I had planned, so that was an error. I turned the inside a little bit too deep when I was doing the inside, which caused the bottom to be a little bit narrower than I wanted it to be. Could have been a little bit wider, but what the heck. Like I said at the beginning, this is really a practice project for me. It's been a while since I've turned a segmented bowl, and I have a project plan that's a little more complicated than this, so I wanted to work out all the bugs before I actually got to that project and got into some wood that would be a little bit more expensive to mess up than this maple is. I do actually know how to do these. I'll put some pictures at the end of the video of previous projects that I've made. I'm certainly an amateur at them at this by any stretch. If you really want to see excellent work done by segmented turners around the country and the world, actually go to segmentedturners.org, and I will put that at the end of this video. I'll put that link up there. Some of the work is really fantastic. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. I've enjoyed making it despite my mistakes that I've made. I've learned, I've refreshed my skills, and my next project will come out absolutely perfect. Thank you for watching.